Hello everybody, Technovoid here, back with the Pokemon White Egglocke Movelocked. I'm very excited to start this series, but first we gotta go over a few rules, because this series is probably pretty unique to YouTube. I'm pretty sure there's no one that's ever done this because we came up with this idea. So I'm going to take this quick episode while we're speedrunning through the beginning of the game here to sort of explain what's going on, how this is going to be working, because there are a couple of pretty unique rules to this series, so I just wanted to go ahead and get those out of the way. So let's start it off. In case you don't know what a Nuzlocke is, a Nuzlocke essentially consists of you catch the first Pokemon in each route, and then if they die, they're dead permanently. So obviously, we're going to have the rule, you can only catch the first Pokemon encountered in each area. No do-overs for accidental feigning. If a party member faints, they are dead and must be released and placed in the graveyard box. Those are the two pretty obvious rules. However, we are going to change one thing to this because we want to use all your eggs, and unfortunately Unova has very few routes and places to catch Pokemon. We're actually changing this from being the first Pokemon in each area to the first two Pokemon in each area. So essentially we're going to be able to get twice as many eggs from routes and caves and similar areas just so we can hatch as much as we can. Also, I figured the sort of catching Pokemon in the wild wasn't necessarily the draw of this series, so to sort of streamline that, I have set the catch rate for most Pokemon to be higher than usual. It's not 100%, but the catch rate will be set to be much higher than usual so that we can generally just streamline the catching of vouchers and move on to getting your great Pokemon in the team. I can't wait for that. But a party member, if they do faint, they are dead. That is how it works. And for those of you unclear on what Movelockeds are, basically, you guys sent me your eggs, and when I catch Pokemon in the wild, these are not actually the Pokemon I use, these are called egg vouchers. And any Pokemon any Pokemon that is caught may not be used themselves, but instead traded out for an egg, which when hatched will be rare candied up to the level of the wild Pokemon. The wild Pokemon will then be permanently boxed, and that Pokemon that I've hatched from you, my friend, will be the one used in the series. As for healing obviously is going to be allowed inside and outside of battles. Poke Centers are going to be allowed, not going to be messing with that. And stationary Pokemon, I will be able to catch Pokemon from random encounters in grass, water, caves, and through fishing. Gift Pokemon will be allowed as egg vouchers as long as they are in an area that I wouldn't be able to catch another Pokemon, like a town without any water perhaps, but legendaries and fossils will not be able to be used as egg vouchers at all. Here are the new rules. Any Pokemon, we sort of were discussing how we could make it that we're showing off new Pokemon, because unfortunately with the Heart Gold Egglocke, the team was pretty stationary. We didn't get to show off. We had so many of your Pokemon that we didn't get to use in the team, and that I wasn't super happy about that. Kanto, we sort of switched it up by moving someone out of the team each time, but I still feel like it wasn't the perfect solution. So here's what we've come up for this time. Any Pokemon that enters battle within a gym is not allowed to enter the next gym. Now this might be a little bit confusing. I think it'll make more sense as the series starts, but essentially what this means is if a Pokemon is used in any battle within a gym, whether it be a gym trainer or the gym leader, if that Pokemon enters a battle and does anything in that gym, it can continue to be used throughout that gym and throughout the game up until the next gym, but it cannot be in your party when you enter the doors of the next gym. Those Pokemon have to be unique from the previous ones. So if you use 3 Pokemon in the first gym, those 3 Pokemon cannot be used. The other 3 can be used in the gym, but those 3 can't be used, and then once the second gym is finished, you can bring those old team members back and the new ones have to leave again. But hopefully we're going to have enough of a sort of variety that we're not going to have to keep bringing back the same 3 members and trading them out. Hopefully this will add a lot more variety into the series. That's what I'm hoping. We're gonna have to see how this goes. It's a sort of a trial run with everything we're doing here, but I'm really hoping it's gonna work. Also, since the levels are gonna be kind of messed up, since I'm gonna be switching people out so much, I will be powering up Pokemon as I see fit off screen, just so that it's not a complete mess. Next up is the Movelocked, and this is probably, I think, the most interesting aspect of this series. As you know, if you sent me eggs, essentially what happened is you were allowed to send up to 3 moves that were move locked. This means I was not allowed to change them under any circumstances. They were locked into this particular Pokemon. and these will actually show up over here on the right side of the screen with the Pokemon. You won't see it now because I don't have any Pokemon on my team, but when I do, there will actually be little symbols for each of the Movelocked moves that each Pokemon has, so you can sort of keep track of what has what Pokemon is what. It's going to be pretty cool. These are the only moves I'm allowed to use on a Pokemon. Any moves that the Pokemon learns naturally through level up will not be allowed. However, TMs can be used to edit any open slots. So Movelocked moves are still locked in, but if any extra slots are left over, which obviously at least one will since you could only send in 3 moves, but if you sent in fewer, I have more sort of area to juggle around moves. TMs that I obtain, I'll be able to switch with anything. However, this of course, the only way I'm going to be getting TMs is through your Pokemon, since each one of your submissions is holding a randomized TM between 1 and 81. So I know this is a lot to take in, but sort of stick with me here. It'll make more sense when the series actually starts in the next episode, but essentially what this means is if I hatch the 32nd Pokemon that was sent in, I will, along with that Pokemon, also obtain TM32, which is randomized. It's not what the TM was in the original game. At that point, I will have that TM forever, and I will be able to use it to switch the move of any Pokemon I want with that TM at any time. But it has to be a TM that I specifically got from a Pokemon. Any TMs that I obtain from gym leaders or in the wild as held items or whatever, those will not be able to be used until I hatch the Pokemon with that TM, unless it's a TM past 81, in which case I can just use it whenever because a Pokemon doesn't have it, if that makes any sense. Next up is that trainers are going to have randomized Pokemon. We wanted to make sure the series wasn't too easy with all these moves that you guys send in, so all trainers are going to have randomized Pokemon, and all Pokemon are going to have randomized movesets, but it's going to prefer same type. The impossible evolutions have been changed, so I'll be able to evolve everything you guys have sent in. I've put all the evolution items in the game for myself. Also, all the moves have been updated to what they are in Gen 6. So if a Pokemon's move changes power or changes accuracy or PP, it's going to be what the Gen 6 games have. I believe it might be Gen 7, but it's definitely not the Gen 5 ones. It's at least Gen 6. Next, 4% of good damage moves. We wanted to make sure that we didn't have too many useless or useful moves, both on my end with the TMs I obtain, but also the enemy Pokemon, what they have. So we've set a 60% force percent of good damage moves, which means at least 60% of the TMs I obtain from you guys are going to be good damage moves, and at least 60% of the moves enemy Pokemon have will be good. And that's it. So I'm really excited to start this with you. Hopefully this video made at least a little bit of sense. And I can't wait to see you guys in part 1 of the Pokemon White Egglocke Movelocked. Hopefully things will start making a little bit more sense, but at least I hope that this video gave you at least a slight idea of what's going to be going on. So go ahead, click here in the middle to subscribe, and click over here for the first part of the series, and I'll probably over here on the left put something else. I don't know yet, maybe probably the Heart-Gold Egglocke, actually. That's a great place to go. So I will see you guys with this series. We'll be uploading it on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 p.m. EST. Get ready, folks. It's coming.